Alrighty, y'all. Hello and welcome back to Homes. We're looking at apartments, homes, home construction methods, kind of all that wrapped into one. And we're looking at various countries in Europe, of course, versus right here in the US of A. Should be lots of differences. Not too confident about the structural stability and toughness of the homes over here, but it should be interesting nonetheless.
Looks like insulation.
It does.
Is that what that is? Some of these building methods, just like this is probably in Europe. Some of these building methods are just so weird.
Okay, so it is. It doesn't say where, but it does say a European crew in Europe building a house. And I believe this is an American. Not exactly sure what position or job, but he is in the housing industry here in the U.S., so should be interesting.
It's in Russia. I guess the buildings are probably really cold in Russia, so I guess that makes sense. But dude.
And those fit in there nicely.
I mean, it's satisfying as hell. But it's like, why would you put the insulation on the outside of the building?
Man, notice how solid this house is, by the way, right? Holy smokes. No OSB and drywall in sight. Look at how solid them walls are. Love it.
They're different in Russia. In Russia. Nice. Nice. Now he's going to just put the siding over it. Yes, it's insulated. Okay. Dude, people from other countries, we just do everything right in America, okay? Can everybody just do things the way we do them in America, please? Not even pressure-treated wood on the concrete. God.
Not even pressure-treated wood on the concrete? Bro.
Treated wood on the...
Do you hear what you're saying? They have concrete walls, dude.
I'm in America, please.
What houses here have that? Show me a neighborhood with all concrete houses here in the US of A. That's actually kind of funny. Look, that's his take. I'm a little bit shocked. I thought he would find it interesting and then maybe give some comparison there. Nope. He said American homes are just better. We do it right here. Well, I think there's pros to the houses we do here, and I think there's a lot of cons. I think there's a lot of pros to different houses in different European regions. And I think there's a lot of cons. That is kind of a fact of life. There's always pros and cons with things. But I think when it comes to structural strength, durability, the ability to last a longer time, maybe some ingenuity, engineering, and just the total house insulation and all these things, I do think typically a lot of European builds are superior. It is what it is. I think that you could argue American homes are better for a couple reasons, but none of those reasons would be the ones I mentioned, right? The houses aren't stronger here. They're not going to last as long, but they have other benefits. They're easier to modify. They're quicker to throw up, right? You could just throw up houses at one after the other. But then, of course, that comes with some room for some foolery, right? Maybe they throw the houses up too quickly, which we're going to see later. Maybe there's some mistakes made. Maybe there's some build quality issues, right? Interesting take from this guy, but okay, let's move on. We're not moving on. We're taking a look at the comments real quick. American houses, pretty much. I mean, literally, yes. Usually bigger, but same concept. It's like a shed, but bigger. And of course, different builders, different standards, different price ranges. Yeah, you can get some heavier duty quality houses here in the U.S., but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. That's the scary part, right? American houses last for 5 years. House in Europe lasts 100. A little bit exaggerated, but not too far off. They have the right idea.
Houses look good until you realize that they're all made of wood. And if it catches fire, the whole thing is burning.
Oh, yeah. If it catches fire, it's done. So I agree with him. And maybe you disagree, and that's okay. I like the different styles. I know different countries have different aesthetic looking houses. So obviously I know a lot of European houses from various countries look a lot different than ours, and I think that's fun. I also think that a lot of American homes, not all of them, there's some styles I don't like here at all, but there's a lot of housing styles when they're kind of modern like this, or of course when you go out west, like the Southwest, right? New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, right? I think the houses look spectacular here. Now, I didn't say they were built well. I'm just saying aesthetically they look okay. Now, the house behind him, you would find maybe you could find that kind of style here in the Midwest. So around Illinois, Chicago, you can find some big houses like this. It's really big. It's a little too big for my taste. But the point is, I still think it looks okay. I want you to see something, though. You notice how it looks like it's brick from the outside. It's actually just a facade, right? Very, very thin facade. It's not actually made of bricks. It's made out of that behind him. And then they kind of, on the more expensive houses, they really jazz it up on the exterior to make it look more premium. And like I said, I actually do think it looks good. If you disagree, that's okay. That being said, these are too big for my taste, and they're actually not made of stone and brick like the facades on the front might lead you to believe. Because if they were made out of that, that would be awesome. It'd be a freaking fortress, right? But unfortunately, it's not. Okay, in Poland, they discovered how to build house walls without cement and shaking up the construction industry. It's based on an innovative system like Legos. Whoa. That's insane. Look at how satisfying that is. They fit together perfectly. Look at that. The E3 system, it's already became popular across Europe because it dramatically reduces time for construction, right? So that's kind of cool to see. It'll be interesting to see how houses evolve in certain countries, especially across Europe, because one of the arguments you could make for the American houses is that they can throw them together quicker, right? Obviously, if you have a really quality, durable house in Europe, it's going to take a little longer to build that, right? But you won't really have to touch it again for 100 years, right? That's kind of the idea. But if you could take European-style, stronger material, thought-out houses like this, and you can make it a little bit quicker, I mean, that's a win-win. This is pretty interesting, actually. I mean, that looks, dare I say, easy. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Wow, and look at how it turns out. That looks really, really neat, actually. I love the roof style, by the way. I don't know why we can't do this in the U.S. I suppose if you have money, you can request anything custom, but like then you're talking just gobs of money, right? Anything that's against the norm is going to cost you an arm and a leg here. That's the problem I have. But you see this roof here? I like that. It looks good, and of course is going to be more durable than the flappy little shingles we use here. This is super cool. Why aren't we doing this on mass scale? America, where you can remove a wall with a utility knife? This is going to blow your mind. If you are European watching this right now, I'm going to need you to give me some feedback here. I know you've heard the stories. You've heard the funny memes. You've heard me, perhaps. Maybe you've seen videos like this. Think of the wall. Maybe you have a really solid wall in your house right now or your apartment, whatever, right? This is a utility knife, and it's literally going through the walls. You saw it. This is not made up. It's not AI. This is real. This is real. Now, it makes renovations easier. It makes changing it up. You want to change the shape of wall. You want to take a wall out. If the structure allows for it, you can do it pretty easily. But it is also kind of just wild, right? There's like a safety element to it. There's a privacy element, an insulation element, a soundproof element. All these things are a little bit weird when you realize how damn thin and paper-like the walls are. Now, for comparison, let's see a European wall.
Just wanted to show real quick the difference in the walls between Russia, for example, where this is an apartment wall, what's called a capital wall. And typically it's about this thick. I mean, it might be a little bit more if it's like between this and the next neighboring apartment. But typically you might have these kind of walls where it's like very, very stable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is like solid concrete.
That is solid.
The ceilings will typically have...
If I did that to the wall behind me, you would laugh. Trust me.
I mean, a couple
that is
feet
wild.
Of concrete below and above.
You could hear the solidness.
But yes, you've usually got some pretty thick walls here.
Ooh, that would just break your hands apart if you hit that hard. Oh, my goodness. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. I think it's funny to show the differences. You could argue for both, if depending on who you are, I suppose. But there is something about this that just, to me, it's so satisfying. It's so reassuring. If I was surrounded by walls like that, I don't know. It seems like a better feeling.
Why don't we stucco walls like this in the United States? It lasts forever and makes your home look expensive. But how does it work? He loads this machine with bags of pre-mixed stucco. It pumps the mix and sprays the wall instantly. Don't confuse this with a small texture hopper. This is a powerful industrial pump.
Wow.
It is way faster than
Look
our
at the
American
size of that
method.
wall.
He levels it out with a metal straight edge.
This
to
is
get
what
it
I like
flat.
too.
Then he scratches it with a spiked float.
I love stucco, by the way. You can find it sprinkled in here and there anywhere in the U.S., but typically see it in the South. I'm thinking like New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Florida, right? They love stucco houses down there, and I love the aesthetic of them, right? But you know what I do love is you will maybe see fenced-in yards here in the U.S., but you're never going to see walls. Only rare, and I mean rare, little pockets of the U.S. or, extremely, millionaire estates are you going to find walls, right? Whereas it seems like typical neighborhoods and typical, average priced homes in European countries, you can have walls. It's just more common. And I love that. Like, look at the size of this wall. That thing's a beast. The only time I've ever seen a wall and had a wall in my life was when, temporarily we lived in the state of New Mexico here in the U.S. Of course, that's in the Southwest. And they had walls around all the houses in our neighborhood. I thought it was freaking awesome. But yet, here in Illinois, I just never see that, right? I've only seen that on mansions, where these are insanely expensive properties. And, of course, they have the best of the best for everything, including a wall rather than a fence.
Creates a
but this is
texture
cool.
that hides every imperfection.
I think it's a beast.
But he is not done. Look at this trick to prevent paint bleeding. He applies masking tape first and seals the edge with white caulk. Now, he paints the column dark anthracite. And here's the most satisfying part. This wall will survive any storm.
That
Why
is so
isn't this
cool.
on every roof in the United States? It mounts straight to the framing without ruining the seal.
And so we don't get confused. In that video, I'm referencing exterior walls. Like instead of a fence around your property, you have a wall. I know we were just talking about interior walls before, not to be confused. I'm talking about exterior walls that would be outside your house and guard your property line, right? Now, this video, they're in the U.S., and they actually were able to get European windows, and they got them cheaper. I'm not sure how this works, but if I can look into this myself, if there are European window suppliers that have the way better European functionality and they're cheaper, then that's the better choice all day. Let's take a look. Of course, I got to mute it. I hate the music. YouTube actually hates the music. Have you guys ever heard of European windows? Of course. We paid $9,000 for windows. The American quotes were $14,000 to $25,000. It's insane, right? And the American windows would have been more basic. They would have had a lot less flexibility, functionality, right? I love how the European windows operate. They're thick, they're quality. And then you're able to vent them. You're able to just turn that handle and open them. Remember, you can't do that with your typical American window. You can only have undo the lock and slide them up. That's all you can do, right? You have multi-functionality with the European style. I think this is super cool. And if this is true, they can get these cheaper. Sign me up.
Why are houses in Europe wrapped in foam on the outside?
Whoa.
No joke. The first time I saw this,
Why
I
is this
thought
so
it was
fun to
unfinished
watch?
construction. Foam
These
as
foam
part of the
pieces
wall,
being put
and this is
together.
actually normal in Europe. This isn't a temporary
Damn.
fix. It's a standard
They're
exterior
thick.
insulation system. The concept is simple. They attach foam boards to the outside of the house. One purpose only, keep the heat inside. Those boards are packed with air pockets, and air doesn't move heat very well. Next, they add a mesh layer on top, almost like wrapping the wall in gauze. Then comes cement and the final exterior finish. Here's the key part. The strength comes from the outer layers, not
Holy
the foam
crap,
itself.
that's freaking
Studies
cool,
show when it's
dude.
done properly, heating energy use can
What?
drop by over 30%. Because the insulation is outside, the wall experiences less temperature stress, which actually makes it less likely to crack. But here's the catch. The installation has to be done right. If the seams aren't sealed properly, moisture can get trapped inside. That's when mold shows up. So the issue isn't the material, it's the workmanship. So what do you think? A smart energy-saving solution or a risky design choice? Drop a comment. I want to hear your take.
I would love to hear your takes too. I don't know how common some of these are, and I suppose it depends on what country you're watching from. This seems really cool. It also seems like, if it's done crappy, it could lead to Some pretty quick side effects, right? No one wants to get mold. No one wants to have these things not sealed and have moisture get in there because that's just not good. But then again, they look so easy. So as long as you have a decent, someone building this that cares a little bit, you would hope. I feel like it's pretty hard to really mess that up. I think it's just fun looking at all these different methods. I really do. A lot of it varies so much, and quite frankly, there's just different methods a lot more, it seems like, compared to the average American house. Like, the average American house is just, they're all so similar, right? And the methods, there's not really much wiggle room for differences.
America's most trusted home builder. Of course we're going to brag about it obnoxiously for the next year.
Oh boy, day after close.
Uh-oh. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? You saw the size of the hole for that thing? Look at that crap. Look at that ultimate craftsmanship. Look at the leak. In a new home, by the way. Love to see it. Gotta be careful over here.
We're America's most trusted home builder.
That's what happens when they slap them together. I hinted at this earlier.
GFCI protection. Not only is this in the laundry, but it's also within 6 feet of the sink.
Wonderful. Not up to code. Gotta love it.
A
lot of people get burned if they don't get this inspected.
This heater isn't even hooked up.
For America's most trusted
Quality.
home builder, of course we only build in locations that are convenient for you.
So this new build homeowner has been living in this home for about a year now.
Holy crap.
With no insulation.
Where's the insulation?
Not only that,
It's bare.
but she's been complaining about the AC. People have been coming out to the home multiple times and no one bothered to tell her she's got no insulation.
We're America's most trusted home builder.
Awesome.
Of course we're going to build landscaping in front of your garage.
I did this inspection last year. Ring cap is still missing and we got roof leaks. Brand new home.
Why would you
I
have...
did this
Why on earth would you have a vertical pipe sticking straight up with no rain cap? Bend that sucker and put a rain cap on it. At the minimum, would you?
inspection last year. Ring cap is still missing and we got roof leaks.
In a new home, mind you. Someone just paid $400,000 or $500K minimum. And that's what they're dealing with. Oh, yikes. I mean, I suppose this goes for anywhere, but you really got to be careful when you're buying real estate, man. Don't get burned. I feel horrible for people that find out some just absolute shitty scenarios like this. That's got to sting. Alrighty, and finally, for the last bit here, we are going to be taking a look at various living situations in some different European countries, some homes, some apartments, that type of thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Every time I see this house in London, I wonder how people live there. What on earth? Okay, is this an optical illusion? Where's the back of the house? It looks like someone came and just sawed off the back of the house. Look at how thin it is. It looks like this scooter down here is wider than this house. What is happening? Okay, y'all got to let me know what this is about. Someone said in the comments it's just a facade. Well, what is it a facade for? Right? Why would you have a fake? I'm so confused. Someone from London, please let me know what this is.
Today,
what is that truck? That is the funniest little truck I've ever seen in my life. Holy smokes. That's cheap. I'll be honest, the piano is so damn loud, I can't even hear this guy. So we're going to read the captions ourselves. So this is a €180,000 Southern Tuscany house. Here's the living room, bright and modern. It is pretty cool. Again, this is like totally different. We're on a whole different level now with this house. Totally different what I'm used to. But I actually really like it. I like these those lights right there. This is so cool. Look at this archway, by the way. I love older houses, the way they're thought out. And especially, I mean, we're in Europe. We're in Italy for this one. Look at the details on this thing. The fireplace is hella cool. Love the archway. The kitchen's pretty big, too. Bigger than I would have thought. It's got an awesome window. Looks like the view is great. Yes. Wow is right. That is such a great view. Holy smokes. How fun. Okay. Again, look at that wall in the bathroom. That is incredible. That is a reminder that we are not in a U.S. home right there. Every room has a view, by the way. The bedroom's nice and big. Oh, even a fireplace in the bedroom. That's different. Okay. Don't start a fire and fall asleep. That might be interesting. Of course, we have the 2 toilets. I think one of them was a bidet. Many reminders here that we are in Italy and not the U.S. I love it. Like actual differences you can see. This is pretty interesting. I like this house. I think it's pretty cool. And the price, to me, that's cheap. Because any price or any house for that cheap here is going to be nothing like this. Unfortunately, houses have gotten so out of control, the prices here. And for, $180,000, unfortunately, in most places, you're not going to find much. I can safely say you're not going to find much with a view like that, right? It's going to be sketchy. It's not going to be great here for that price. But meanwhile, for that price in Tuscany, it's a nice house. It had a nice property. And look at the view. I mean, that's freaking cool.
Excuse me. Do you live here?
Ooh, Northern Europe. Let's go.
700.
700?
Mind if we see it?
Jesus, that's so cheap. I don't think I can find anywhere within 200 miles of me that's 700 a month. That doesn't exist anymore. It did 15 years ago, not now.
I don't know.
How many
There's
square
just
feet
no
is
way.
this?
130 approximately.
And it's 1,400 square feet. That's pretty big.
Room, and then we go to the kitchen. Not very spacious one. It's still very nice and cozy.
Now it's tight, but it's a nice kitchen.
What's over
It's
here?
modern.
This is your
Dining table with a very nice wooden dining
Good sized table.
and a very nice wooden something. I don't know how is it called in English.
Nice.
Cupboard.
Yeah, some pretty high ceilings, I see.
I think 3 and something.
Yeah,
So
nice
this
high
is the living
ceilings.
room. This is from nut.
From nuts. Wow.
I don't know.
Walnut.
Walnut.
Yes,
Walnuts?
it's
Okay, I
walnut.
was like,
Yes, that's what it's called.
Okay.
What?
This one is bedroom.
oh, look
Wow,
at the size of
that's
that
nice and
bedroom.
quite spacious.
Yes.
Damn.
With a
How many
double
kids
bed.
do you have?
3, but
3
only
kids.
2 of them live with me.
Nice.
So this is my bedroom.
Yeah, these are nice
And
bedrooms.
Here is
The beds look slightly different. The toilet. Oh, look at the shower.
Wow,
Nice.
cool. I love the tile.
very city
The whole
center.
thing's
We
tiled
have
in there. That's
parking
really
down
cool.
there.
Does it get loud here?
Kind of a cool
No,
view.
it isn't. I can sometimes hear the tram, but it is not loud. No, because this is one-way street and there is never traffic. It's nice.
That's cool.
Whoa, there's a dog.
Yeah, it's my puppy.
Was that a real dog or was it like a stuffed animal?
With a shower.
This is
we
a
don't
different.
have
Oh my
bathroom.
god, that's nice for like a second bathroom. With that kind of shower, how is this 700 a month?
With a shower, we don't have bath.
Man, we're getting ripped off
So how
here.
much do you pay for this place?
700.
In rent? A month?
And plus utilities.
Wow.
That's
and how big
really
is this
good.
place?
1,400 square meters. Not square meters.
Square meters, square feet,
100 square meters.
Meat.
square meat.
100 square meat. So
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm gonna cut that one there. That is really good. I wonder where this is. It said Northern Europe. According to the comments, it looks like it is in Riga, Latvia. So Riga, I mean, that's a good deal. I think that's a cool city too, from what I've heard. I don't really know a bunch about it, but it looks like a cool place. I've gotten fan mail from there. So shout out to Riga, Latvia. I think that's a great living situation. Someone literally adds, now of course New York City is like the worst. It's super expensive, right? But for context, someone said that they pay $5,000 a month, not $700 a month, $5,000 for a 750 square foot apartment in New York City. So half the square footage, I mean, 5 times the price, actually a little more. That's wild. Well, that was fun. I'm going to cut it there. There is so much more we got to do. I've done 1 or 2 of these episodes so far. I freaking love them. They do really well. So I appreciate you guys for that. Like I said, the house quality just differs so much. I think it's very interesting. And I love kind of looking at the differences and getting educated about how places are built in different countries. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.